Hey everyone! Today we're going to make pumpkin gooey butter cake, which is basically the epitome of fall, at least in my house. And I'm going to show you how to take a few basic pantry and fridge ingredients and throw them into this crowd-pleasing or family-pleasing fall dessert. It is so good and it's super affordable. I'm Elizabeth, this is Elizabeth Lauren Cooks, and let's jump right in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a package of your favorite yellow cake, just boxed mix, and we're going to start. This is kind of going to be the crust of our gooey butter cake. So I'm going to put in one package, just dump it in the whole package in this bowl. Okay. Now I'm going to crack in one egg. And then I'm going to take one stick of room temperature butter. This is 8 tablespoons, but just throw in the whole stick. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our mixer here and we're actually going to mix this together. So this recipe is basically one of those recipes where you're transforming your favorite, store-bought ingredient. So in this case, it's going to be our store-bought cake mix, and it basically just makes it revamped into a delicious fall dessert. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix this all together. Okay, so basically what you have now is kind of like a shortbread crust or something like that. So I'm just going to scrape off my beaters here. Make sure you get all of it out. Okay, so now you can see I've got my kind of like a shortbread crust here, and this is just from that box cake mix. So now what we're gonna do is take like a 9x13 dish and we're gonna lightly grease it. So I'm gonna show you how we do that. Okay, so all I've got here is just some room temperature butter, and I'm just gonna take a little paper towel and just grease my pan with the butter. I find that this makes the best crust and gives it a really good flavor too. Okay, so now that that's lightly greased, we're gonna go ahead and take this crust that we just made with that yellow cake mix, and we're just going to pat this in. This is gonna kind of form a crust, and then we're gonna add another layer on top of this, and that's gonna kind of be the gooey cake part. So this is gonna be our bottom crust. And it's okay if you go just a little bit up the sides. That just helps give you more room to put that gooey filling in. So I like to do it just a little bit up on the sides. So just press that down really well, spread it out. All right, so this is all you want right there. It's just pressed into the bottom, and I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna start with our gooey pumpkin butter cake filling. Okay, so for the filling, the best part, although I'm not sure it actually is, the crust is pretty good too. Okay, so now for the filling, we're gonna take one block of cream cheese and make sure that it is room temperature. You do not wanna have chunky bits of cream cheese that don't get mixed in. So one block of room temperature cream cheese, and to that we're just gonna add 1 can of pumpkin. This is organic, but you can use regular, obviously, no big deal. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm just going to combine these two together really well, and then we're going to add some more delicious ingredients. I love this recipe because it's so easy. There's hardly any measuring to actually do. We're just adding, 1 box of cake mix, 1 can of pumpkin. So this is really something good for beginners. It's a very beginner-friendly recipe. So, okay, I've got my pumpkin in there. Now I'm going to take that same mixer with the beaters that are dirty and everything. Just go ahead and mix it together. It doesn't even matter. So now we've got our pumpkin and cream cheese mixed together, and we could basically stop there. It's probably delicious just like that. Just kind of scrape those off. Okay, so now we're going to throw in 1 stick of butter that's also room temperature, so it combines really easily. Okay, so 1 stick of butter goes in, and then we're going to crack in 3 eggs. Okay, so now just mix that together again. Okay, so I mixed those eggs and butter in. Now we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and my vanilla extract is actually ridiculous. It's huge. I like to make my own because it's so easy and it's actually really affordable. So I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla to this. Oh, so good. Okay, and next we're gonna add 1 entire box of powdered sugar. Don't judge me, it's good, just trust me. Okay, so we're gonna dump this in. Just imagine you're making a frosting. It's like eating frosting on a cake. It's fine, really. Okay, and on top of that, we're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of nutmeg and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. That's gonna kind of give us that pumpkin spice flavor. You could even use pumpkin spice, like spice seasoning mix in this, obviously, that would be good too. But if you don't have that on hand, just go ahead and use nutmeg and cinnamon. Okay, so now we're gonna mix this all together and hopefully it doesn't coat the entire kitchen. We'll see. Okay, so now we've got that all mixed together and I'm just gonna go ahead and give that one final stir and make sure nothing is sticking to the sides or the bottom. Just give that a little stir. So this is gonna be the gooey part of that cake. Okay, so now I've got my oven preheated to 350 and I'm gonna go ahead and grab that shortbread yellow cake mix crust that we made and I'm gonna dump in our gooey pumpkin filling. So in it goes. And get every last drop of this. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so now we poured that in our pan and we're just gonna pop this in the oven at 350 for about 40 to 50 minutes. I'm gonna start checking it at 40 minutes and you want to make sure you don't overbake this, otherwise you're not gonna get that gooey texture that we want. So when it comes out, it should still have a little jiggle, a little movement to it. You don't want it to be completely baked through or else it's not gonna be gooey. So in the oven this goes. Okay, so now the hard part, we wait. Okay, you guys, so this baked for about 45 minutes and I've let it cool for about 15 minutes now. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig in. It's probably a little bit warm still. You should probably let it cool longer, but I cannot wait. So we're gonna go ahead and dig in. So you can easily serve this with just powdered sugar plain on its own or with whipped cream, but my favorite way to serve it is with really good vanilla ice cream. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop some of that up too.
Ice cream. Whoa!
Okay, let's go ahead and dig in. It's almost like pumpkin pie and cake in one. It's so good. It's the perfect fall dessert and you have to go make this. Your family's gonna love it. Make sure you stick around because my next video is gonna be my family's favorite chicken and rice casserole, and it is the best chicken and rice casserole you'll ever try. So make sure you stick around for that video, and thanks so much for sharing this time with me in my kitchen. I'll see you next time.